Hi everybody. Well, I'm gonna shoot a couple of videos here. I'm sorry, I'm not crying or tired or anything. I just coughed really big right before I started shooting this video. Well, I'm gonna shoot a couple of videos counting this one, and I got some commentary to make. Uh, one of these videos is going to be a restaurant review. It's like really, really freaking overdue. The other one is something from Tuesday that I said that I was gonna shoot. So. Madbadvoodo, if you're paying attention, guess what? You're gonna have to, watch to find out what I gotta say. Well, first I'm gonna start with what I've been ridiculing Richard or Madbadvoodo with since Tuesday. Today is November the 10th, 2012. The reason why I mentioned today's date is because Tuesday, and this is why I keep naming Tuesday. Tuesday was election day, November the 6th. 2012. Really, I shot a video and put, in fact, it's the last video I posted on here was from Tuesday when I voted. What it is I was in there, and thank God I was off Tuesday, because I was in there for like 2 hours just waiting to go vote. It was bad. Because there's a nearby church to me that I have to go vote in, and it's a big facility. It's been around since I graduated from high school in the building it's in now, but I have to go there and vote. Well, what happened is I was in line waiting for it took me 2 hours to get through the entire process of voting. Fortunately, like I've mentioned before, the voting process here in Kentucky is like, once you get in there and actually, do the vote, it's like zip zap in out, whatever, and you're out. Well, what it is, I said in the last video that I posted on here, which I shot that day, I'm going to actually, divulge who I voted for president. And I'm sure Richard is waiting on bated breath to find out who I voted for. I want to talk about some of the other election results. I mentioned that, there were certain people on the city council here in Cold Spring that I didn't vote for. Well, a few of them got voted off, and I thought it was kind of funny in an almost malicious way, but it's just, it's like one of them things where I'm like, I didn't vote for them because, I just have a difference of opinion with them on certain things. Not, being malicious or anything. Don't get that idea. Some of them, I'm just, like I said, one of them I think is a puppet, so that's the reason why I didn't vote for that one. So it's like, it is what it is. I shot that video with my iPhone. This bad boy here. Of course, as you might notice, I'm charging it up right now. I'm charging it up with the computer because this thing is an energy pig. I mean, if you have, one of these smartphones, granted mine's a iPhone, these suckers are energy pigs. I mean, it's like, I have to, matter of fact, right now I'm multitasking with it. I've got charging up and uploading photos at the same time. Talk about being productive. But anyway, that all aside, I'm sure Richard are, waiting on bated breath to find out who I voted for president. Well, I mean, I vote, okay? I mean, I have been, and I want to say this first. Of course, this always throws Richard for a loop. I've been voting since I was 17. If you're wondering how that's legal, it is. If you go look up the law about the voting, what it is, it's all got to do with your birthday. I'm not kidding. Look it up. It's got to do. The law says your birthday has to fall on or before the first Monday in November. Guess what? My birthday is in June. June comes before November, so that's why I've been voting since I was 17. And I got registered to vote in my government class in high school 20 years ago. So I've been voting for 20 years. There was like a couple of years when I didn't vote, but that's because I needed to go change my stuff because I'd moved and whatever, and I couldn't figure out where, I needed to go get the paperwork for that, but I eventually filled it out and whatever and started voting again after I found out my polling place and stuff. But, anyway, yes, Richard, I am dragging it out on purpose just to annoy the crap out of you and to make you watch my video all the way through. As far as, like, some of the other stuff, well, I did actually write my name and Tony's name in for city council, and I am seriously considering in either next year or this year, or, well, in the next 2 years, running for city council office if, in Cold Spring, if I still live here in 2 years, which, knowing my luck, I probably will be. And I think that's going to be funny. Because that's going to be an experience for Tony to have his wife on city council. I think that'll be fun. Granted, I mean, that means I'll have to make sure that, I'm available on Tuesday nights, but no big flying deal. I mean, I can handle that. I can work my work schedule around that, but yeah, I mean, it's, just so you know, Richard, if you hear me going on about, I'm in office now and I'm an elected official, you'll know what happened. I actually am, an elected official at that point. But yeah, it's just anymore. I know, people are set in their ways with certain things, but and I want to talk about this first before I, say who I voted for, because I mean I want to get this out first before Richard totally zones out. There are certain people. And this pissed me off, and I want to say this. On Facebook, there are certain people that it's like they just choked Facebook with, attack ads, either for or against, the opponent, Democrat or Republican. It got to the point on Facebook that there was other things on there that I wanted to see, and I had to actually. Some of my friends, I had to do it to 2 people for sure. I won't say who they were. But, one was a Democrat and one was a Republican. It got to the point where I had to actually block them. I didn't, remove them as friends. I just blocked their posts. Just because, well, I wanted to be able to see what everybody else was saying, too. Richard, I'm sure you can relate to that, with ODing on, like, messages. I know you mentioned in one of your videos that you got, like, a whole bunch of PMs and shit. Well, dude, I know what that's like. I see way too much shit on my Facebook anyway. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, I haven't unblocked them yet. I mean, it was a couple of guys. I think, yeah, no. There was, the Republican was a girl, and the Democrat was a guy. But, really, I mean, I had to block them just because it was annoying. It was like every single post they made was, bashing the opponent. It was like bashing Mitt Romney or bashing Obama. It's like, really, if you're going to post a political thing, don't sit around and insult the opponent. Just say, I think you should vote for so-and-so because of, X, Y, and Z, and leave it at that, and don't just keep posting the same malarkey multiple times a day. I mean, that got really irritating. I mean, there was a few of them that were guilty of that. I mean, I was just like, seriously? That just, I'm like, I don't want to see that like 15 times in one day. I mean, it was really obnoxious. I mean, really, it was bad. That's why I blocked both of them, to where I didn't have to see that anymore. I mean, granted, I got the emails and whatever, but, I mean, I can delete the emails and stuff. But seriously, though, I mean, I was like, really? Could you be just that insensitive to your, acquaintances on Facebook that, you make them, look at that. I mean, it was sadistic. I mean, yeah, I know it's freedom of speech and blah, 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 but, I made a post on there that said, I wish people would quit with the attack ads and everything because, at this point, they need to shut up about it and let people think for themselves. And, I like the Young Turks, and I mentioned this to Richard, by the way. The guy that, shot this one video on the Young Turks about Mitt Romney telling, the CEOs or whatever, how to, encourage their people to vote for Romney and stuff, or they're going to get fired and whatever. I don't know if you saw that, Richard, but I made it, my comment like a few days later on that video that I posted on your Facebook wall. But that guy is a conservative Republican. I just thought I would at least say that now to, make sure that you knew about that. I don't know if you spotted me saying that comment. But, I did. I just wanted to make sure I at least say it here, so, you see it, or hear it, or know about it, finally. Well, the other thing is, I do have very strong feelings about, people should go out and vote, but I don't think at this point, I think it should be illegal, to be honest, to, post attack ads. I think they should just stick to, like the good qualities of, candidate X, like if they're, if candidate X is a Republican, the Republicans should say, well, you should vote for candidate X because he supports, this, A, B, C, D, and E, or the same goes for, if candidate X is a Democrat, same concept. I mean, it doesn't matter which party, and I mean they should stick to that, and not say, well, Republican, if the or for example, if the Republican candidate is like, the Democrat candidate's the devil, and the Antichrist, and blah blah blah. I mean, seriously, it goes the Democrat way too. Like the Republican candidate's the devil, whatever, blah blah blah. Same thing. I mean, that stuff should be illegal. I mean, that shouldn't be allowed because that gets really obnoxious. And I mean, it did. It was real bad this time. I mean, we're talking really bad. What I thought was funny is, as I've mentioned previously in previous videos, I live near Cincinnati, Ohio. Well, Cincinnati, Ohio, in case some of you don't know, got a lot of press coverage in this last election on Tuesday because Ohio was a major swing state Tuesday. And, they were talking about Ohio being a Florida from 2000 because, that was an unholy mess in 2000. I mean, granted, Bush shouldn't have won the election that year, and they just recently, in the last 4 years, admitted that lawsuit, shouldn't have, been decided for Bush. Part of me wonders, and, this will be a good thing for Richard to think about and maybe shoot a video on, what would have happened if Al Gore had actually won in 2000? I'm sure old Richard Hunter would be just shitting tacks and screaming about, Greenpeace and, God knows what else. Well, but anyway, I've been making Richard wait long enough. Well, first I want to say one thing. Richard, I'm sorry your horse lost. Okay? I am sorry Mitt Romney did not win. But like I've said to you before, the majority has spoken. About Obama. Well, speaking of Obama, Richard, I'm a Democrat. Duh, you should have known. Common sense 101, Richard, if you'd thought about it. I wouldn't have voted communist, I actually did vote for Obama. I voted for Obama, and I will tell you why. I voted for him because he supports women's issues and also gay issues. Not that I'm gay. I have got some acquaintances who are gay. I have a cousin who was murdered, and he was gay. And, my thought is if they want to get married, let them. Because if they want to be as miserable as the rest of us, let them knock themselves out. Because one thing, and I've heard this, in the states that they allow gay marriage, the divorce rates have gone up. Guess who's getting a divorce? Gay people. I mean, not that I'm gay bashing, but I mean, it's like, hey, if you want to do that to yourselves, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I mean, in fact, and I've said this, and I've even told Tony this, if my late cousin, who I absolutely thought the world of, would have come to me, after, gay marriage was, allowed, and said to me, hey, listen, I want to marry my, partner, I would have said, now listen here, honey, I support you totally on that, and you know what? You better make sure you invite me to that wedding because I will kick your tail if you don't. Because I really was crazy about that cousin. And I was extremely upset when he was murdered 4 years ago. He was murdered in, well, it was a vehicular homicide was what it was. Him and his partner and a friend of theirs was going home, minding their own business in the reservation in Cherokee, North Carolina, and this car illegally crossed the double yellow line, and, well, long story short, killed my cousin, his partner, and their friend. And they were minding their own business, and they were just going home from dinner. They were, it wasn't like they were out late after he made his hurtful initial comment. The man should learn that his negativity has caused him to be hit with all the publicity that was negative due to him being such a dumbass and saying mean, hurtful comments in the first place. On a related note, I've shot videos here on my channel talking about feeding the trolls here on YouTube. I feel that this whole negative thing goes with what has happened with that's over in